It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the morning edition for Tuesday, October 4th. I'm James Spann. Drought conditions in Alabama will worsen over the next 7 to 10 days. And, of course, all eyes are on Hurricane Matthew. A lot of things to talk about, so let's roll. Here we go. Big trough in the western states. Cold, snowy for the mountains. Around here, a very dry air mass. Temperature is not bad. 57 at Gadsden, Tuscaloosa 59. Got upper 60s for Birmingham and Anniston. We go up in the 80s today. Afternoons will stay very warm this week, but nights very pleasant. There's the watch warning map. Things pretty quiet. Got some winter weather issues back in the western states. In the mountains with the trough. Some fog problems up around Pittsburgh. But again, the eastern half of the country is fairly quiet. However, later today, very active convection likely. Across the heartland, we have an enhanced risk of severe weather for parts of Oklahoma and Kansas. Then tomorrow, a marginal risk for places like Kansas City. And on day 3, which is Thursday, again, severe storms possible for parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, southeastern Nebraska. But goodness gracious, we can't buy a drop of rain. October is the driest month of the year in most years, and sure enough, it's awfully dry this year with basically nothing for the next 7 days. This is valid through Tuesday of next week. You can see the really big numbers well to the east of here with Matthew. And, of course, we'll talk about that in great detail. This is the big picture. First off, we note that little disturbance northeast of the Leeward Islands with a high chance of becoming a tropical storm. Let's take a look at that one. This is Invest 98. We do note the BAM shallow and middle runs bring it over to North Carolina, but that doesn't seem plausible with the situation involving Matthew. More than likely, this meanders out in the middle of the Atlantic and should not be a problem. I guess our friends at Bermuda might have to watch this. And the intensity guidance, not overly impressive. But again, this could become a depression or a storm, but I don't think this will be a threat to any landmass. On the other hand, that is just nasty looking. This is Hurricane Matthew. This is a Category 4 hurricane. Top winds 145 miles per hour. And again, you can see that thing is basically on that southwestern peninsula of Haiti, the eye. And this basically looks like a humanitarian crisis for that country. Storm surge, inland flooding, wind damage. This is going to be just catastrophic, I'm afraid. Jamaica's over on the good side of the circulation. Take a look at the modeling here. This is the guidance coming off the GFS ensemble. This is the OZ run. And again, you can see that this thing is just wanting to hug the coast of the United States, the East Coast. The black squares, the black line, that is the mean of the ensembles. This is a 21-member ensemble. And the confidence is getting pretty high in the forecast track of this thing. And we'll show you the official Hurricane Center track in just a second. The intensity guidance, more than likely it will be at its peak in the near term. But understand, it's not going to just fall off in intensity rapidly. It's going to be a process here. And this will likely stay a major Category 3 hurricane for a while. Here's a track coming from the Hurricane Center. And this looks very good. Models in good agreement. Confidence is pretty high. It comes up right through the Bahamas. Hurricane warnings in effect for all of the Bahamas. It's a major hurricane. Thursday night, it's just east of Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach. Friday, it will be just east of Daytona Beach. And then over the weekend, it hugs the coast of the Carolinas, perhaps making landfall north of Charleston and just kind of coming up through Wilmington and Cape Hatteras over the weekend. And again, obviously, everybody will have to pay close attention to this. Traditionally, the biggest impact is on the right side of the center, which is good, but still many of the coastal communities will see a lot of wind and rain from this. This is a look at the tropical storm force wind speed probabilities. And understand, this is for just 5 days. This doesn't go beyond 5 days. And The greatest chance of tropical storm force winds will be right on the immediate coast. A lot of people are asking questions about inland communities in Florida and Georgia and the Carolinas. The impact there will be not nearly as great. A little breezy and showery, but the big impact right on the immediate coast. In fact, this is the expected rain for the next 5 days. Look at Florida and Georgia, and you can see places like Orlando and Tampa with under a half inch of rain. And if you're planning a trip to Disney World, Thursday night and Friday will be breezy, no doubt about that. You'll see winds of 20 to 30 miles an hour and showery with occasional showers. But the really big rains will be right on the coast, and quite frankly, the huge rains will be offshore. That's just the way this thing is lining up. So that's the setup there. And let's talk about our weather. Look at modeling. We'll talk about the longer range. This is the 06E GFS valid today at 1 o'clock local time. Big cold trough in the west. And again, for us, another sunny and warm day. The high, this should be the warmest day of the week. We'll see a few spots hitting 90 today. I'd say most places 87 to 90. And we got Matthew just slowly moving northward in that channel between Haiti and Cuba. Tomorrow, Matthew coming up into the Bahamas. We're warm and dry. Highs 86 to 89, sunny. Thursday, pretty much the same thing, mid-80s. And again, Matthew, Thursday at midday is just east of Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach. This is Friday. The thing is just riding the coast, the center just offshore. And obviously, Friday is going to be a windy and blustery day for parts of Florida and eastern Georgia. But again, the big impact's right on the immediate coast. The rain amounts will drop off tremendously once you get inland. But for us on Friday, we're dry. Highs probably coming down toward 80. Saturday, Matthew is not too far from Wilmington on the journey northeast. Notice the pressure gradient tightening up. Saturday could be kind of a breezy day here. A north breeze will bring in cooler air, and that's what Matthew's going to do for us. It's going to pull down cool air. That's the one effect here. Highs drop into the mid to upper 70s, and then Sunday, Matthew is just east of Cape Cod. And again, Sunday looks to be a windy and wet day for Boston and the coast of New England. For us, Sunday will be beautiful. The high will be around 70. We start the day down in the 40s. The coolest air so far this season. And Monday, again, we start the day in the 40s, the high in the 70s. Beautiful fall day. And this is Tuesday. Ridging starting to rebuild. And again, it's a dry air mass. Lows in the low 50s and highs in the upper 70s. But the bad news, of course, we can't buy rain. This is the end of the forecast period. Thursday of next week, the 13th. Troughing in the west, ridging for the center of the country. Heights about where they should be. And again, it's a dry air mass. Rain for the next 10 days, just nothing here. This is the rain valid through Thursday of next week. We'll get rain in November, December. That's our late fall severe weather season, but in the short term, no. Numbers, they come on down. Very refreshing this weekend and early next week. Good to see those 40s on the board. That is a sign of the times. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you can catch us this evening on the live stream of the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.